So, I watched a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and it was absolutely terrible. Now, I had low expectations for this movie already, because the Five Nights at Freddy's games are also absolutely terrible, and I hate them a lot. And also, this movie was in development hell for like 10 years, which is never a good sign for any movie. But, if this movie was good, I would not be so spiteful and contrarian that I would let my hate of the games override my opinion on the quality of the movie. Conceptually, Five Nights at Freddy's is fine. Animatronics are creepy. Look at Billy Bob from the Showbiz Pizza Place. So if this movie changed a bunch about the games, it could have been good. Rebel Taxi put it best. That video game people pretend to be afraid of on the internet for money. Five Nights at Fuckboys. I mean, the obvious criticism of this, and really any horror movie that's bad, is that it's not scary. But I mean, there are plenty of, fun or enjoyable horror movies that aren't scary. I mean, really no slasher movies are actually scary. But the issue with this movie goes beyond that. It has an absolutely bizarre structure and the pacing is terrible. It's mostly just boring. And it's really repetitive. I get that the objective of the game is to survive Five Nights at Freddy's. So, in a movie, you kind of want to adapt that. But the structure of a game and the structure of a movie are different. Josh Hutcherson works at Freddy's, as a night security guard, as same as the game. The first half or maybe even more of the movie is him going to work, something mildly creepy happening that usually doesn't even affect him, that he doesn't even see, and then going back home from work, and then there's 15 to 20 minutes of either exposition or him talking to a cop or hanging out with his sister. It removes any tension from the movie, because a good horror movie, the character's trapped in a situation. They're isolated. The tension is rising because they can't just leave. Josh Hutcherson just leaves half the time. And when he's at Freddy's, nothing particularly scary happens. He sort of just takes a nap, and then there's a security camera footage and Freddy's moving a little bit. For a game that's entirely jump scares, there weren't a lot of jump scares in this movie, which I guess is a positive. But anyway, that structure is bizarre, and then the general plot is also strange. He has a little sister, and there's a custody argument subplot that really goes nowhere and is just bad and doesn't make any sense. The violence level of the movie is incredibly low. This seems like barely a PG-13. There are episodes of Goosebumps that are more violent than this. I'm not saying that a horror movie needs violence to be good. I'm saying that a movie like this would have been helped by violence. And if it's not scary, at least give us some gore. I honestly think that this movie could have been rated PG with just a little bit of editing around. One thing I will praise is the sound design. None of the kills are really explicit. They someone gets attacked by an animatronic and then they go, ah, off screen. The sound design of them getting killed is actually really good, and I think it's very effective. In a better horror movie with more tension, I think that it would have been a very effective scare tool. But the most baffling decision in the entire movie, that there's a part in the movie where for 20 minutes they're just hanging out with the animatronics. They're not doing anything scary, they're not doing anything wrong, they're just hanging out. There's a montage of them building a fort with music playing and they're laughing, and it's so cheesy and so bad, and it removes any chance of the animatronics ever being scary again for the rest of the movie. It is so stupid and such a confusing decision for a horror movie. It stops having the ability to be a horror movie at that point. The little bit of tension that is there from being oh, these animatronics, they're scary, I don't know how to react, is completely gone when they hang out with them and have a sleepover party. The point is, this movie's terrible. If you like the games, you'll probably like this, because the games are also terrible. The best part of the movie is Matt Pat's cameo, which made me die laughing. So, don't watch this movie. It's bad. Anyway, what's your favorite horror video game? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe for more content. Bye bye!